Good morning, everybody, and welcome to session 1 of Get Your Head in the Game. It is going to be incredible, and I'm really, really excited to get going. So, session 1, we are going to talk about something that affects all mums, no matter how much you try and deny it, how much you try and pull back on it, your identity will shift compared to what you were before you had children. We are different people and we become different people, but we try and resist. So today we are going to talk about identity shift. So let's go for session 1. So, as mothers, we all experience a shift in our identity. The person we were before we had children just isn't the same person we are now. We've gone through the biggest life-changing event that you can. Yet society tells us that we should just slip back into life as it was beforehand. So our bodies need to ping back to exactly what they were beforehand. We need to slip back into work with exactly the same motivation and drive that we did before we had kids, and everything else as well. But how can this be? Our home and family dynamic has changed beyond recognition, but we are expected to slip back into our old life that we had before we had children, with the same values, with the same goals, and with the same relationships as well. But why? Why? Excuse me. Why do we let society dictate to us how our life should be? It's not our fault. It's because we don't know any different, and we are seen to be a failure if we aren't the same person that we were before we had children, which is absolutely ridiculous. If women didn't have children, there would be no human race. So why is it that we have to go through this life-changing event, but then we're also seen as a failure if we want different things, if we feel different things, if we have different goals? It is just ridiculous. Our lives have changed beyond recognition, but we are expected to pop back into shape and get back to work and keep on top of the chores and excel at everything that we do. No, just no. Anyone is free to change at any time, and change is good. I cannot tell you how good change can be, but we naturally resist change, but change is good. So we need to embrace that change. We are on this earth for a really short period of time, but when we get to our 40s, we are told it's too late now. Just get back to what the job that you were doing before you had children, because it offers some flexibility, because you can work at home on a Friday, because you can finish early at 2 o'clock on sports day and go and watch your children in sports day. You know, we're made to feel grateful for those things. So we go back to work and we just go through the motions day in, day out, and we're meant to be grateful for it. People will tell you, at least you've got a job. At least you've got a little bit of flexibility. At least you don't have to go into the office 5 days a week. And you should be grateful for being in a job that keeps you stuck and living your life on somebody else's schedule. No, I have had enough of this. Is that really what you want? Do you really want to be living your life according to somebody else, doing things that somebody else is telling you to do, day in, day out, and just going through the motions every day? Do you really believe that you were put on this earth to just go through the motions and just exist and just tread water every single day? Because I 100% believe that I wasn't, and I believe that you weren't either. I don't think that anybody in this world was just set to go through the motions and be grateful for a mediocre life. Is that what you really, really want? Truly, deep down, is that what you really, really want? Fuck that shit. Why? Why do you keep doing the same things, hoping that things are just going to get better? Because they won't. You keep doing the same things day in, day out in the hope that it might get a little bit better. Well, I can promise you it absolutely will not. And you've changed. Your priorities have changed. Your values have changed. And your life is different now. And is that such a bad thing? No, it's really not. We feel lost because it's like we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. We know it's not right, but we keep trying, just pushing those feelings down, just hiding those feelings, hoping they are going to go away, but they won't. They will just get bigger and bigger, and they will fester until you explode. And everyone tells you you are fine and it's normal to experience those feelings. Yes, it is normal, but you can do something about it, and you can start today. And that is why you're here listening to this. Sometimes the hardest things is knowing exactly what you want. But where the hell do you start? And where do you go? If it's not that, then what is it? What does that look like? But you feel lost and you ask yourself, who am I really now? I want to really get you thinking about this. And this is the first step to giving you freedom, flexibility, and more money than you could ever have imagined. You will have different priorities, and let's see what they look like. It's the first step to moving forward and understanding, accepting who you are now and who you want to become. You will have different priorities now and different values. And let's dive into these and see what is unearthed. I want you to really think about the next question I am going to ask you. And I want you to be honest. Go with your gut and don't overthink it. The first question is, are you truly happy in your job? Do you wake up every day and you're excited to get to work and you're like, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the day is going to bring. I'm excited about speaking to that person. It's going to be amazing. The culture of the business is fantastic. It's so supportive. I love it, the flexibility. Or do you absolutely dread it? Do you get that feeling on a Sunday night of, oh my God, I've got to go and do this same crap, just a different day. And I've just got to get through till 5 o'clock. And then you get to 5 o'clock and then you start again on Tuesday morning. And you're like, I just need to get through to the weekend. And then coupled with the fact that you've got children and you might get a call from the nursery or school to say that your child's ill. And you then have to almost apologize to say, look, I've got to leave early. I'll catch up at home. I'll make the hours up, because that's what we do as women, don't we? We kind of keep promising and we over deliver, because your child's ill and you're made to feel like shit about it, and you're made to feel guilty, and you get the looks and the tuts, and you know that they're going to be talking about you, and then you just do more because you don't want that, because you want to do a good job. Why are we still living our lives like this? So are you truly happy in your job? And then the next question I want to ask yourself is, what feels the hardest about work right now? Is it the lack of flexibility? Is it the finance that the lack of finance and the funds that you have from your job? Is it the lack of promotion? Is it the lack of feeling like you're part of something? Is it the lack of purpose and fulfillment? What is the hardest thing right now? And write those two things down. And you may come up with things like lack of flexibility, feeling that you're never enough, the lack of meaning, the feeling that you want more. And feel free to share them in the chat. Absolutely. But I want you to write them down for you. And we will come back to these later in the week. But you will soon realize that you have outgrown your old career, not because your job's changed, but because you've changed, because you are different now. You want more. You want more flexibility, more freedom, more finance. You want more meaning. And that's good. But your job hasn't changed. You've outgrown it. And it won't be different elsewhere. I can promise you, you can go and get a job with more money, what sounds like more flexibility, more meaning, but it won't be different. It will just be a different company, but you'll still have those feelings in here. And when you realize that, you can't unsee it. And it's likely that the only thing keeping you where you are is the money. When it boils down to it, nothing else. And the security that money gives you. And I get it. This isn't about handing your notice in tomorrow and launching your business right now. It's about really tapping into what you want, your values, and appreciating that you've changed and using that to move forward in your life and your career. And I want you to really think now about, if you could describe your ideal work scenario, what would it look like? So day to day, what would it look like? You may come up with things like more flexibility, more freedom, more meaning in my work, and more money. Whatever it is that is personal to you, and everyone's circumstances are different. But the main reason I left my recruitment business and moved into coaching was the lack of meaning. It had just become about the money. And that's all it was about. And this is a trap that we easily fall into. So I want you to be honest and think about what you really, really, really want. And I'm passionate about helping women just like you realize your full potential. We are fucking awesome. And we deserve the freedom and the flexibility and the money that we desire. We can do anything we put our minds to. But before we do anything else, you need to tap into who you are now and not be afraid to change. But make sure you write those answers down, as you will find it useful over the course of the week. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to think about is not being scared of change. Okay. Because change, as I've said earlier, change is good. Change means that it can feel really hard sometimes, and something good is going to happen, but change is good. I'll relate this to you having your children. That was a good change, right? You went from being a couple to being a family. That was a really good change, because I know that you watching this would be like, yeah, being a mum is really hard, but I wouldn't be without it. Okay, I wouldn't be without my kids. So yeah, 100%. You need to really hold on to that. That change can be really good. But if nothing changes if nothing changes, nothing changes. Somebody told me that quote once, and I think it's an incredible quote. If nothing changes, nothing changes, which is really simple, but effective. And you think about that. If you want change, you've got to change. So think about this, and I will leave you on this thought for the day. Do you really want to be stuck in the same place that you are now in 5 to 10 years' time? Is that really where you want to be? Because I don't know about you, but you should really find that scary. So if you are having those same feelings, those same thoughts every day, and you've literally gone through the motions for the next 5 to 10 years, how does that make you feel? Again, feel free to share in the chat. But that is it for today. And I will be back tomorrow for your next installment of Get Your Head in the Game. Have a fantastic day.